Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we'll explore two fascinating journeys. First, how thousands of tons of coffee are harvested and processed each year, from plantation to cup. And then, how a massive vessel at sea not only catches shrimp, but also processes them right on board, turning the ocean itself into a moving factory. So, let's begin the adventure together. Join me as we step into the fields, the factories, and the vast open sea to witness how these journeys truly unfold. At dawn, harvesters and shuttle bin tractors line the block edge, beacons pulsing through cool mist softly. A brisk field briefing locks the plan. Guidance set, radios checked, hands settle calmly on controls. From the cab, rows a line ahead. The first machine eases into the lane, instruments steady and quiet. 3 harvesters sweep in parallel, shaker columns combing shrubs so ripe red cherries drop onto conveyors cleanly. Header height trims precisely to protect branches. Rubber guards brush leaves. The combs work without tearing anything. Cherries run like a bright river along the onboard conveyor, continuous, contained. On the slope, suspension keeps level. Traction bites gently and the cut line stays true throughout passes. The header rises and lowers through dense canopy, threading cleanly to avoid damage and preserve yield. Side auger opens. A steady stream pours into a shuttle bin pacing alongside, speed perfectly matched today. At the mother bin, a grizzly screens debris. Extraction hoods hum and the flow remains uniform throughout. A mobile weighbridge confirms each load. Wheels roll slowly, numbers logged, pace measured and consistent for throughput. Convoys move the internal road in tidy order while drone views map the grid of production unfolding. End of row. Brake, pivot, line up, and dive straight into the next lane without pause. From above, multiple blocks operate at once, a patterned landscape of rows stretching toward the horizon. Close on the chute. Cherries thunder into lined bins, a textured rush underscoring field throughput. At the headland, safe refueling, nozzle locked, bonding cable clipped, spill tray set, operator vigilant. Back in the cab, posture resets. Mirrors and sightlines clear, hands relaxed, minor jam protocol. Stop, isolate, lock and tag, inspect, clear, confirm, then safely return to run. On steeper cuts, a spotter guides by hand signal and radio, positioning the machine with certainty. Dusk draws over the rows. Shift change flows smoothly as floodlights rise and engines settle. Under beams, 2 harvesters maintain spacing. Dust hangs silver and the mechanical hum stays calm. End of shift cleaning. Radiators and screens blown clear. Debris collected on tarps. Panels wiped for airflow. Where points on combs and belts inspected. Checkmarks land. Spares staged. Readiness verified before redeploy. Blue morning returns. The convoy rolls toward a fresh block, renewing precision and pace once more. At the central pad, twin receiving hoppers gulp field bins as conveyors already run. A grizzly screen strips twigs and stones. Measured flow steadies before the main belt. 2 side belts merge into a trunk line. Diverters route the stream toward waiting silos. In the yard, rows of heavy trucks idle staged. A marshal directs movements with paddles. At parallel loading bays, forklifts shuttle pallets briskly. Dock plates locked down, alarms beeping. The convoy departs the gate sequentially. 1 truck rolls, others hold, cadence crisp, dust low. Along the highway, 5 tractor trailers maintain spacing. Mountains shimmer and the afternoon light hardens. Generic plant gates and a weighbridge appear ahead. Security clears papers, barriers lift cleanly. On the tipper, a trailer rises carefully. Cherries slide into a skirted, ventilated receiving pit. Inside, the main conveyor carries a bright ribbon of fruit toward the roaring wet mill. At control stations, operators monitor motors and flows. Screens glow unreadably while radios stay calm. 2 identical processing lines run together. Redundancy holds throughput steady when 1 unit pauses. The cherries meet clear water first, drifting down a stainless channel as skimmers lift the floaters and leaves aside. Red skins part cleanly into lidded totes while coffee beans drop in a bright ribbon to the wash flume. Inside the demucilagenator, brushes whisper. Sticky mucilage peels away and the beans fall dry onto a perforated screen as a thin amber stream slips. Parallel line, patience rules. Rectangular tanks cradle coffee beans under cool liquor, where time and microbes shape tone and depth. A technician draws a cup from the catwalk, pH and temperature steady the hand, and the notes land in quiet shorthand. Downstream, stepped flumes take the beans along. High sidewalls and lips hold them safe while water slides beneath to the weir. A quick moisture check rattles a tray. The target is met, and boots move on. Pumps breathe the mill's water back through filters. Sight glasses wink clear as the loop closes. What leaves the process is tended gently. Clarifiers and reeds polish the flow, no sludge, only patient air. Elevators rise, screws thread upward, lifting washed coffee beans toward the sunlit decks. In buffer silos, the beans pause, level lights blinking while a footfall measures the moment. Then slide gates open, twin belts accept the measured curtain, and the journey steps out into drying. The drying patios open wide, lanes of parchment coffee beans raked into long windrows under high sun. A tractor-drawn turner passes, flipping a wave of beans and laying it neatly back into its lane. Inside, towering column dryers breathe warm air as pale beans slide downward behind sealed stainless panels. The rotary drum turns slowly, beans cascading like a pale waterfall while the chamber rumbles steadily to the outfeed. An inline moisture sensor watches the stream. A steady status light nods. Quietly. Night operations begin. Dryers glow behind louvers and forklifts trace safe lanes beneath sodium and LED halos to BY daybreak. Two small tractors striping beans while teams work clean, synchronized arcs. Storm builds. Crews pull giant tarps methodically, securing edges so the beans remain dry and safe. A technician cracks a parchment bean. The crisp snap confirms dryness and the next stage beckons. A loader tips beans into an enclosed hopper. Extraction hoods humming, while guards stay closed and calm. Overhead, 3 conveyors run in parallel, feeding separate hoppers with tidy curtains, no spillage visible. Outside the silo farm, trucks queue beneath loadout spouts as late light warms steel and concrete. The huskers take the parchment first, a quiet thrum lifting chaff to cyclones while green coffee beans fall clean and steady. Shakers and an aspirator smooth the flow, shaking out overs and unders, lifting light dust, leaving a tidy stream to carry on at the detoner. Gravity draws the beans downhill as heavier hitchhikers, stones, stray metal, march the other way into a waiting chute. Screens take over in tiers, sieves stepping size into order until each outlet drops its portion into lined totes. Twin density tables breathe beneath the bed. Lanes align, cameras decide. A crack of air flicks defects to reject while the good fall center. A magnet trap and metal detector close the loop. Quiet guardians that let only clean. Confident coffee pass in the lab. Small drum roasters spin. Samples charge and drop. And at the long cupping table, crusts break, and the room fills with steam and verdicts, the flavor of a season arranged in bowls. The warehouse opens like a cathedral, aisles of green coffee stacked in calm order while forklifts. Outside at the loading bays, heavy trucks take turns at the seals. One backs in, one pulls out, and containers stack into neat, numbered streets. A ship breathes at the berth, lines tight. Night pulls a net of light across the port. Containers slide into place, and a ship draws breath at the berth before turning to sea. Freshly roasted coffee beans tumble into cooling trays while green bags wait at the hopper, heat kept at a respectful distance. Coffee's story pauses at this final cup. Stay with us as we step aboard a record-scale shrimp trawler. At first light, the ocean lies open, a vast expanse of steel blue water rolling beneath a rising sky. Across that endless horizon, a great vessel moves with steady power, its hull cutting waves, its deck alive with preparation. Spray leaps against the bow, waves pound the side. but the ship surges forward like a moving city, built not only to travel but to harvest. On board, technology hums quietly. Screens glow in the bridge, instruments blink, radars sweep in arcs. On the sonar, a wide, dense shape appears. At that signal, the crew readies themselves. Winches stir, gears engage, and the long ritual of harvest begins. Workers move with careful rhythm, hauling nets across rollers, securing lines, preparing the great gear. Two massive steel otter boards swing outward and drop into the sea, holding the trawl mouth open as the vessel tows. Below the waves, the net yawns like a vast funnel, ropes stretching. On deck, drums spin, steel cables reel, and strain climbs on gauges. The ocean pulls hard, but the machinery is stronger. Then comes the moment the cod end, swollen, breaks the surface. Water boils around it, gulls cry overhead, and the dripping net swings into place. A crane swings it over a giant stainless tray. The knot is untied, and suddenly a cascade erupts. Thousands of shrimp spill out in a flood, raw and glistening, tumbling across steel as water sprays wash them clean. From chaos comes order. Streams of shrimp move onto conveyors. Sluices rinse grit away. Screens vibrate to separate sand. Again and again, jets of water flash, leaving the catch brighter, cleaner, fresher. Soon, the product enters the processing line. Here, workers in gloves and aprons stand ready, knives sharp but controlled, swiftly separating heads from bodies, dropping byproducts into bins for reuse. After the heads are removed, the shrimp travel down the conveyor, washed once more until gleaming clean, before moving forward into the freezing stage that locks in freshness. Then toward cooling. Flake ice falls in glittering sheets, mixing with the flow, dropping temperature fast. Cameras close in on falling shards, on shrimp sliding beneath. Inside the lab, technicians take a small sample of shrimp meat and carefully perform tests to ensure safety. Rapid strips are used under strict protocols, every rule observed, so that only safe, trusted product reaches the consumer. Another line runs product through a tunnel metal detector. Green light steady, safety confirmed. Every step leads toward freezing. Shrimp move toward the IQF section, visible for a moment through a clear window as cold vapor rolls inside. Air blasts howl, frost grows thick, and shrimp emerge separate, each coated with tiny crystals. Perfection in cold. From there, exact weights fall into transparent bags, sealed tight, each portion precise. Cartons fold around them, brown and unbranded, stacked neat, sealed by machines. Forklifts move pallets, setting them into deep storage rooms where mist drifts across the frozen floor. Cameras linger on frosted corners, on condensation curling in the light. A handheld logger blinks, recording temperatures, data ready for the long journey. Above the factory decks, life continues. Crews sit together in the mess hall, warm food steaming, laughter rising after long hours. On the bridge, the captain studies radar arcs, eyes narrowed as seas shift. In cabins, a sailor sleeps, rocked gently by the ship. In the engine room, another checks valves, gauges trembling under heat and vibration. The new day begins with discipline. Workers wash their hands carefully, each movement deliberate, then pull on clean gloves and sturdy boots. Around them, hoses spray foaming soap across steel machines, every surface rinsed until it shines. What looks like routine is in truth a ritual. Preparing the factory deck, restoring order. Nothing is wasted. Heads, shells, and fragments drop into sealed bins, destined for spice, meal. A new day rises over the sea, and the crew gathers on deck for roll call, voices clear against the morning wind. Tools are checked, lines inspected, engines tuned, every detail prepared for the work ahead. Soon the winches engage, nets lift heavy from the water, and once more the cod end breaks the surface. A cascade of shrimp pours onto the deck, a bountiful catch that promises another day of hard work. On deck, frozen cartons rise once more, pallets lifted into waiting containers. Reefer units hum, seals click, temperature icons glow. Hands attach tamper tags, twist locks secure, safety straps hold fast. Out at sea, the vessel carries its cargo of cold toward shore, a silhouette of power against the horizon. The vessel sails forward, carrying shrimp on their journey to the consumer's table. At the port, officials inspect cartons, pry open one box, glance inside at clear frozen shrimp, stamp, and close it again. Gantry cranes swing, containers lower onto truck chassis, locks clamp shut, and refrigerated trucks roll away, each one carrying the ocean's harvest inland. Along highways, tag signals blink, every pallet tracked. In distribution centers, cartons slide along conveyors. In the glow of a restaurant pass, a chef lifts shrimp from boiling water, their shells turned brilliant orange, steam rising in fragrant curls. At home, a consumer opens a clear bag, pours shrimp sizzling into a pan, a meal born of distance but carried intact. Thanks for watching. Please give me a like, hit subscribe, and see you in the next video.